Yo, what's up guys? Thanks for watching this video. As I mentioned in the thumbnail, after 4 attempts, finally I passed the exam of the AWS Generative AI Developer Professional. And after these 4 attempts, I have so many feelings to share, so I make this video. As you can see here, in my first attempt, I get a score of 735, which is actually quite close to the pass threshold of 70 and 50. And for the second and the third attempt, which is actually pretty bad memory. Anyway, I was so stupid and so stubborn. That's the reason I didn't pass in the second attempt. And finally, I get the certificate at my first attempt with a score of 840 marks. And today I'm going to tell you the reason. And as we know, in the generative professional exam, there are 4 domains to be covered. The first domain is covered foundational model integration, and for this module, the most important part is to understand RAG. As long as you can handle the trade-off between different solutions of RAG, between choose different vector stone, and that's okay, you can handle this domain. And for the second module, the most important part is the orchestration. You must make the multi-agent orchestration connected well. Then you can handle this module. And for the third part, there are some sensitive stuff. The most important is guardrail. And for the fourth module, it requires you to really hands-on to build those application, generative AI application, build the RAG. Then after you get the builds, you feel, it is actually more cost efficient to build. And for the last module, it is about test evaluation to maintain the good performance of no matter for the RAG and AI agent, whatever. And it requires some real hands-on experience, not just learning based on YouTube video. And I'm going to share the performance of my first 3 attempts. In the first attempt, I get a good, not good score, just meet the requirement for domain 1, since the RAG, as long as you build one, make those little trade-offs, make it working, I think you can pass the module 1. And in the second attempt, there's something wrong with my mind, since I think in the first exam I made some bad choice, and in the second exam I want to correct those answers, but absolutely I did to another wrong direction. And for the third attempt, as you can hear, I get the domain 3 and the domain 4 all meet the requirements, but actually the score is lower. I have no idea why. I don't know how do they mark this. And anyway, it is an important reason that why I didn't finish the exam for the first 3 attempts is I'm not doing well in the orchestration and the validation part. Since there actually existed 2 architectures to make the generative AI solution working. One way is to use totally the serverless solution, use the API gateway, different API gateway that connected to Lambda. The Lambda connected to the Bedrock, and use DynamoDB to store those information. And in this solution, the official recommended way of orchestration to make different AI agent run is to use step function, or recently there is a new method called Bedrock Flow is online. And in this way, however, in my previous generative AI project, what I was using is the second way. It is more traditional software architecture, use the container and use ALB to connect to the ECS, and the fast API were running in the ECS constantly. And the long graph is running in the fast API to finish the orchestration. but which is actually not the AWS officially recommended way. So the more you use this function, the less you're familiar with step function for orchestration, which is actually a big proportion in the exam. So what I recommended is if you want to pass the domain 2, always use the serverless solution, and you will get familiar with step function more to know it has different states, the parallel and the map, and how it connected to the lambda, and how it arrange those stuff. That's the reason I didn't doing well in the first attempt. For the first 3 attempts, I have never passed the domain 2, but after I built a serverless solution of generative AI to use the step function and the lambda, I passed domain 2. And here is the architecture of my previous generative AI application called Policy Compass. It is a very traditional one. The user is connected to the as a load balancer, and the orchestration happened inside the ECS Fargate, and the Aurora is used to store those chunks for IAG of query. But it is this system that makes me fail those 3 attempts. So it is. I don't think it is good or bad. It is just based on their official preference. They prefer to users to use the API gateway. I think it fits good. I think it fits good with the nature of the agentic AI, since when it is running, it is just a short period of time. When it is not running, we do not have to always make the container runs here. It consumes lots of money, but the timeout is another issue I will discuss in the future. And here are the learning materials I have bought. The first one I bought is the course from Stephen. Stephen is doing great in the solution architecture associate that material. I bought that and I passed the exam as my first attempt. And for this course, I don't think it is the course you can buy and learn and pass the exam. It is still a Fargate gap between learn all the concepts in the course and pass the exam, since it is a professional level of exam. It covers, it has lots of trade-off. You must understand how to trade off this. And the second material I bind is this. There are 4 sets of example exam. In this, I didn't finish all of them, since the question style doesn't fully match the exam style. I find that in my second attempt, so I just drop it. Sometimes the questions is very, very detailed. It doesn't match with the exam style of force you to trade off. You don't have to remember all the details. You just have to trade off between different solution and architecture and those services. And for the third material from Rahul, I think this is good. If the material from the course from Stephen is you have no background, you do not have any idea of how to develop generative AI application, you can use this course from 0 to 1, and this course, Rahul's course, help you to follow the pipeline from input, and step by step follow the pipeline to give you introduction and a detailed explanation of the whole generative AI, how it works in AWS system. It is good, but even if you finish all those materials, it still cannot guarantee you to pass the exam. Also, I bought the example questions from Dojo because I told you. Yeah, but that exam is the sample exam questions is no good. It is too far away from the topic. That in that exam questions they use the set maker too much, but in this exam, Bedrock is the main character. And since I have used all the three materials in the first three exams, I didn't pass. But the reason why I passed is I found the best material of the skill builder. There are 12 free questions and 75 example questions. If you subscribe, I think that's the best material I have ever had. I don't think you need to buy any other questions as long as you are fully understand those skill builder questions. Those questions are the perfect styles and the perfect match with the example questions to make you get familiar with those trade-offs. As long as you can understand each question, what is asked, and for each solution, why it is correct and why it is not correct, I think it is a higher guarantee that you can pass the exam. And also, it is very important, you must be able to use the AWS serverless solution to maintain a generative AI solution, no matter for, I think it is best for RAG or some other audio solutions or other image solutions too. It is not quite common used because in any company, it is common that they use container to ECS and to run those long graph inside, but it is not AWS officially recommended, so they do not recommend it to use that way. They prefer to use their own solution to finish the orchestration. So if you want to pass, you must get used to their style, and especially for the step function, which is actually very, very important. I think almost all the questions covers the orchestration. Step function is the answer, and lots of details in step function you need to be careful with. And after this video, I'm going to make a series of videos that explains skill by skill. There's in total 98 skills in total. So, and also I will also help build some like real generative AI applications from theory and put into real practice to combine them together. After those, when I look back, it is actually quite good for me to spend 4 times to pass the exam. I get more experience than other people that pass the exam in the first attempt. Actually, I'm quite jealous of those people who have the first attempt and get a score of 760, and that's pretty good. And I have to spend 4 times, spend much more time, and my luck is very bad, but I get much more experience and feeling of those questions that I can teach in the future. So if you like my video, please subscribe. I'm going to release more video to teach you how to make generative AI on AWS and how to pass the exam. I will see you in the next video. Peace.